Hey Marvel fans, as some of you may have heard, the player count for the game is decreasing rapidly, which seems to be true for now. Now Marvel Rivals is a superhero team-based PvP shooter where players from a similar squad make countless strategies by combining powers from unique team-up skills and fighting ever-changing battlefields across the evolving Marvel universe. Now upon its release in December 2024, Marvel Rivals soared to an impressive height, peaking at around 600,000 players and possibly up to 10 million players within 7 hours of release, and now resides at 135,000 players as of today. Now, as of today, it seems like the numbers are going to keep decreasing. Now, some may ask, how did the player count decrease so much? Now, the massive drop among players has come due to several factors such as spurting, long queue times, and even the ineffectiveness of nursing buffs and possibly more. And this may be part of the question. Is Marvel Rivals dying? Now, we all know Marvel Rivals is a game with huge appeal due to the game mechanics, the daily player feedback, and the unique heroes that get released. Now, when I first started playing this game, I just pressed random bullets, thinking I was just gonna jump in, get a few kills, and my teammate would do the rest. However, I was into a rude awakening. Now, I believe I had Wolverine for my first match, and me being a noob at the time, it's like a blind person trying to fight with a bunch of superheroes with number knives. And I thought to myself, maybe this character is not for me. And this forced me to try other characters which appealed to me. The diverse selection of my favorite characters was there. There was so much to choose from which made me fall in love with the game. And to this day, there are still some characters I haven't tried yet. After a while, I realized they had roles for the characters. I tried each role, and for a while, the Vanguard role stuck with me, with Venom being my main. And I love how Venom will come in and grab an enemy so they can't escape, and he repeatedly strikes them. And I also love the fact that Venom can have a team up with Penny and Spider-Man. Eventually down the line, I started using a healer, mainly Cloak and Dagger. Now, some of you might say a healer requires no skill, and some of you might not say that, but that's not entirely true. Characters like Spider-Man, Iron Man are hard to heal since they're always moving. We don't want to risk our lives to one person and leave the whole team open. And speaking of team, it's hard for us to heal them if we're getting attacked. We're not made for the front lines like the DPS shooters. Either we have to strategize or sometimes switch roles. But I think I speak for all players when I say this, a balanced team comes a long way for everyone. Everyone can be healers or vanguards to balance lose. Another thing that appeals to me was the different game modes, even though I mainly play quick match, but I digress. Now, some of you can say the game is dying due to the bugs and crashes, and some might disagree. But when it comes to crashes, it's mainly on PC. As you can see here, there have been numerous reports of non-stop crashing. Now, I'm not sure if this issue has been fixed yet, as of now, it seems the crashes have been reduced, but not completely fixed. It seems PC players have been hit the hardest with Reddit user by the name of George Dranato, and sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He describes how the game went from a smooth 4K gameplay to constant crashing. He tried everything, reinstalls, driver rollbacks, and YouTube crash guides, and nothing worked. And he's not alone. Reddit, Steam, and YouTube usually similar complaints all over. He says, I've been playing the game non-stop for the last 2 months without any issues, settings at 4K 144Hz/FPS, and all of a sudden in the last 3 days, the game has become a hot mess. They crashes randomly mid-match or when he wants to look at other cosmetics. He claims he gets the error message Marvel_win64_shipping. Now, some could argue that crashes are due to issues such as outdated or incompatible drivers, insufficient hardware resources such as low RAM or CPU power, your game file being corrupted, or simply your PC overheating. Even though it may happen on PC, it can also be happening on console as well. But I haven't heard any reports about crashing being on console. Now, another problem is the performance issues such as lag spikes, frame rate drops, and low FPS, which leads to poor performance and slow response time. Now, the performance issue can be due to an unstable internet connection, game overlays from Steam, Discord, or even high in-game settings. From my personal experience, I have never experienced these problems, whether it be performance issues or crashes on my console, which brings me back to what I said earlier. This seems to be a PC problem for the most part. Now, the only time I can recall where I had an error is when my game did not want to kick to the service after logging in. And while crashing can take people out of the game, what happens in the game can be just as frustrating. One of the biggest issues Marvel Rivals is facing right now is team balance. And I'm not just talking about power levels, I'm talking about actual team competition you see in matches. Sometimes you load in, it's like, who built this team? 5 healers or 4 vanguards? No DPS, no coordination, just chaos. And yeah, I get it, not everyone wants to play support or tank or damage, but without a proper role queue, teams are just kind of hoping everyone picks what's needed. They race the casualty matches sometimes. But if you're trying to climb or take the game seriously, you need a balanced team. Now, some of the Rivals communities have been saying for a while that Marvel Rivals needs a role queue system. Now, this could be a good thing or a bad thing. And I do believe I've spoken this topic before in my past videos. I'm not sure what my take on it was. But in my opinion, I think role queue just would make sense. Some players aren't good at the game yet and don't even know what role they're good with. So forcing them to lock in with only one role is just a bad idea. This can also lead to weird team competitions. And some people don't know what's really fundamentally broken or better than other things. If it's a game more like ranked, then yeah, it's a possibility that they could do well. considering how ranked has a lot of experienced players. However, some players might think if you're playing competitive, you don't need role queue, as you should already know what to do. Another reason why this might be a bad idea is sometimes you might have to switch roles if the enemy starts to gain the advantage. For example, imagine your whole team is dead and you're forced to stay with Cloak and Dagger, and you're fighting someone like the Winter Soldier, who is currently the most broken meta in the game. You're bound to get wrecked. And speaking of meta, there have been rise and fall of metas from Season 0 to Season 2 such as Jeff, Doctor Strange, Wanda, and more. Now, there have been lots of concerns about overpowered characters over the season. Like, I remember when Wanda was a meta, and I don't think she still lives, but that's a topic for another day. Now, with Wanda, only thing I do is hold the button that requires no skill, which may piss other players off. And she would make players so mad that someone made a rant about her. And honestly, I don't blame them. Wanda main firepower had too much range, too much damage output, for very little skill required, plus 2 invisible escape moves, which was enough to piss people off as well. The fact she could fly in, hold down a button, kill someone with auto aim from my primary, then use her invisible to escape when you take damage is cheesy. Or she can use her invisible move to sneak up on you and kill you. And to further support my claim, we had this video by my homeboy Ritual C95. Shouts out to him. Now, let's take a look at this video.
If you were anything like me, you would know how carried and knowing this bum ass, one button ass, I went to Diddy party ass attendant fucking characters. Look at this shit! Can y'all believe there are actually humans on this earth that thinks this stupid ass is above? She already got buffed. That's the crazy fucking part. Look at me, just holding a fucking button and killing. Oh my god, so skillful. Oh my god, please buff her. Oh my god, this takes so much skill. Look at this bullshit. Poor Petey Parker. I actually hate Petey Parker, but I actually feel sorry for her at this point. Because holy shit, all you gotta do is hold a fucking button and just read a fucking book. You can go cook. I can go to the store and come back, and she can still be holding that button. Even if you get in danger, you can just click one button and get away completely fine. If you use Wanda Maximoff, I hate you. If you use Wanda Maximoff, I hope you go to McDonald's and you get a filet-o-fish sandwich and they give you and they say it's a right. I hope that you just wake up in the most filled waterless house of all. Look at this bull. Look how cancer it is.
Now, before I get back to the video, I just want to say this isn't any hate towards Ritual C, man, nor is me trying to make fun of him. But from watching this clip, this is how angry an OP character can make somebody. And I say they have every right to be angry. It's times where I use an OP character and it felt good, but when the shoe's on the other foot, it doesn't feel too good. I promise you. But sometimes if you can't beat them, you gotta join them. But on a serious note, if you've been playing the game for a while, you may have noticed it's a new meta every season. In Season 0, it was Jeff, and during that season, Jeff was a menace. Players would call him King Bun, but eventually he was nerfed. But it did say there was a menace to nerf him. And that's another thing I don't like. Even though the devs listen to community feedback, every time there's a new meta, they never nerf the current meta. Until maybe the next season. And I'm not sure why they do this. Maybe it's to give players a challenge. And sometimes it might be 2 metas. Like right now, I believe 2 metas right now would be Emma Frost and Winter Soldier. But I noticed that when a new meta comes out, the old meta is still strong, but it's not as strong as it was before the new meta came out. Which tells me the devs have to be doing it on purpose. But for now, it's only speculation. And I feel like they should focus more on the power characters, but it's hard considering how big the roster is, but I digress. Now earlier I spoke on the rapid decrease of players due to several factors such as smurfing, longer queue times, and even the ineffectiveness of nerfs and buffs. But I kinda want to expand on it some more. Now for a while, smurfing has been going on. And speaking of smurfing, this is my first time talking about this topic on the channel, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now smurfing is when experienced players make new accounts to dominate lower skill lobbies. As to why they do that, I don't know. Maybe to feel better about themselves. And it may sound harmless, but for new players it's a disaster. Imagine you're a beginner trying to learn and some guy with 1000 hours is dropping 20 kills every match. That's not fun, that's demoralizing. A lot of casual players probably bounce early because of that, which will also be a reason as to why player count decreases. Perhaps in the future, NetEase can implement some sort of feature as a phone number verification that requires players to link a phone number to their account. This makes it much harder for smurfs to get new accounts, since getting multiple phone numbers isn't as easy as getting new email. Now another thing they can do is increase the level requirement for rank. Right now the rank requirement is level 10, but it should be raised to level 20 or higher. Now just imagine, as smurfs have to grind a week before they can join a rank match just to get to level 20 or higher. Many of them wouldn't even bother making new accounts, but I digress. Now some may say it's the queue time that's killing the game. At launch it was instant, and I still think it is. I guess because I mainly play quick match. And some of you may wait 5 to 10 minutes, especially at night or less populated regions. People are impatient. If it takes too long to play, they'll go play something else. Especially in the competitive genre, where instant games are norm. And I understand from experience, I don't want to sit and wait all day. I have patience, but at the end of the day, I just want to play the game. From my experience, I noticed that Doom match has a long queue time. It was a time where I had to wait 3 minutes for a match, so I do believe the longer queue time depends on the game mode being played, but I could be wrong. And also, I think NetEase should find a way for players to get engaged more into other game modes. It could be a Discord challenge, events, or giveaway, or something else entirely. Another reason is lack of long-term progression. A lot of players stick with the games because of goals, rank ladders, cool skins, seasonal rewards, etc. Marvel Rivals does have these, but they don't always be worth grinding for. Without many rewards for your time, there's no real reason to log in every day, especially if you're not a hardcore player. What's the reward for playing 100 hours? What's the goal that keeps people logging in daily beyond just winning a few matches? There's no meaningful ranking system, no seasonal reward ladder, no evolving hero mastery system. Players want milestone, badges, and honor and progression that feels rewarding. Right now, there's no grind that feels worth the effort besides the battle pass. Imagine if Marvel Rivals added a hero-specific prestige skin or a battle pass tied to gameplay milestones, not just login rewards. There will counters a reason to keep playing and hardcore players a reason to push further. When there's such a long term to chase, players will eventually find that time isn't respected. And once hit thought creeps in, people start logging in. And some might say it's not enough content drops or updates, and some might disagree. The devs are pretty active, but some players feel updates are too small or too slow. When there's nothing new, no fresh maps, heroes, modes, players get bored and move on. It's like the neutral hype wore off, and without consistent updates, the game starts to feel stale. However, in my opinion, I feel like if they give us too many updates, it's going to overwhelm players. So I feel like they should create a balance as to how they would do that. I don't know. Maybe they could release a roadmap so that players know what to expect, building the hype. Now, last month, I discussed NetEase's lawsuit and how it can impact the game's future, and how NetEase is being sued for $900 million for supposedly leaking false information about the company Britannia Media. Now, a lawsuit does not look good on this company at all, so this could have led to a decrease of players. And let's think about it. If NetEase did leak false information, players would begin to lose respect for the company. Also, let's not put the devs getting laid off. I believe this was around February, and even though this was a settle-based team, doesn't mean it have any effect on the game. Now, here it states NetEase was keen to stress that layoffs would impact ongoing support for Marvel Rivals, whose primary development team is based in China. The article then goes on to state that we want to reassure our fan base that our core development team for Marvel Rivals, which continues to be led by lead producer Wong Kong Wu and game creative director Guangyong Chen, remains fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience. NetEase continued, we're investing more than less into the evolution and growth of this game. We're excited to deliver new superhero characters, maps, features, and content to ensure an engaging live service experience for our worldwide player base. Now, when a studio goes through layoffs, even if it's not the core development team, it still sends ripples through the entire production pipeline. Now, fewer people working on the game means slower update cycles. With fewer hands on deck, content creation slows down. You also might start to notice the long gaps between hero releases, fewer balance patches, or delays in seasonal events. Now, with less people on deck, that means more bugs are gonna come through, meaning that the game is gonna be unplayable. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be all for today. In the comment section below, let me know if you guys think the game is dying. Is it because of the bugs, the smurfing, or something else entirely? Also, if you guys want to check out my homeboy Richard 695 channel, the link to his channel will be in my description below.